Hi, this is Simon with Trade and Perform Coaching. Uh, really quick, before I start this, if you'd like to ask for a 5-day pass to the room or have any questions of me, you can reach me at tradeandperform@gmail.com. Okay, so, and by the way, side note, cost of the room is a minimum of $95 a month. And if you want the software on your desktop, it's $250 a month. And if that doesn't suit you, that's totally cool with me too. So, first of all, so what we're discussing here, just to give you reference, let me pull this down, is how we figured out to grab, in particular, the long from here to here, and specifically also from here to here. So if you look at that trade from the original entry, it was 11,617 to 11,717, 100 points, $2,000 a contract, and multiple stacking opportunities. Right? So the whole trade begins with the concept of hunting the triangles with the purple and pink bars. So you're looking for either an orange triangle with a pink bar, or you're looking for a purple bar with a red triangle. Those are the two things you're looking for, and they pop up all over the place, right? So first, Matt asked me how I figured out the trade. So we start off from the high time frame, either an 80 or a 120. So if you look from the big picture, right, we are making, if you go back to the 16th, go from here to here, there's a couple of things in here that make this reasonable for support. So first of all, this is the 50-60 retrace from the move from the 16th to the 24th, and it is quite normal in the market to get a 50-60 retrace really all over the place, right? So that was number one. Two, you see all these power bars over here. These are some of our algos, and they generally provide an area of support, which makes sense. So that's step number one. I'm in an area where I want to look for longs. And what am I trying to target? Ultimately, for my extension, I'm trying to target a return, although we don't know what time frame it'll take. But hopefully, eventually, we're catching a return back to this 50-60 back up here. Okay, so all that's simple and pretty straightforward. All right. So now we take the exact same concept we just did on that time frame. And so the first thing we knew we had to do to go higher was to get above the wave to the low. This little power bar, the little blue triangle, indicates what we had to get above. We're looking for the lowest one. So in this case, it was actually technically this one right here. But just to make the conversation simple, we knew we had to get above there. So speculatively, I pretty much take all these when they're in the right area. This is in the 50-60 retrace. I'm either looking for a star. If I can't get a star, I can substitute it with a pink triangle up. First long. So I make an impulse move, but I don't clear my hurdle, right? If you look on that first push back, I was a little bit aggressive. I actually took this pink triangle. The stop goes behind this bar. I got stopped out, kind of bounces around that 50 retrace. Then you'll see I get a triangle down, star, that's already a long, and then this bar had an orange triangle up. I take the orange triangle up, and I add on the backside test, able to scale. Now here I've closed above my wave to the low. This group of sellers right here is trapped in the 50-60 retrace, right? And I also have a potential head and shoulders right over here. This one was a little bit sloppy, but the concept's the same. I would have been using this. It was kind of weak because the right shoulder drooped a little bit, but it was close enough for hand grenades, right? So stopped, long, not stopped, and then I added again on this yet again, and I added again when it pulled back, scaled, right? Pulled back, stopped on my trailer. So I tried to push this trade out of here like this. My target was to get back to the 50-60, going the other direction. It was my initial trade. I couldn't get it. So I stopped on my trailers, right? I paid for it, but I stopped, meaning I paid for it with my profits, but I got stopped, right? Right over here. And you'll see that the purple bar with the triangle down kind of set the reversal, which is fine. That was also, I mean, there's so many ways to trade multidimensionally, but you start from here. That was the 50-60 back going this way. So it just sets up over and over. You just have to know, be familiar with your time frames, right? I'm going to erase that. So remember, the bigger the time frame, the more important the number. We're in the 50-60 from a multiple day time frame, right? So I'm stopped out over here. Then when we come in over here, actually I handled this trade a little bit differently in here, but I put my stop behind the 62 retrace, but if we do it textbook, I got stopped out. So let me clarify. My stop was like right here because I wanted the 62 to hold. So the stop was adjusted. So I apologize. I shifted between what I coach and what I actually did. Normally the stop would be behind here. I know the 62 retrace is right there. I'm going to want to close behind the 62 retrace. So that's the adjustment. Nonetheless, I still was not at full size over here. I was just trying to survive. But when I get this, see when it pushes up and it goes star, triangle down, that's usually huge to the downside, right? As everyone knows, pink bar, star, triangle down. So when I get this triangle up, I know they just jammed these guys. These guys were working on a head and shoulders here to the downside, and they pushed really hard. And normally off a high, that is a fantastic setup, right? They get jammed. And then this was right before I went to lunch. I took this right here at 11,659. And yeah, and that took you from 656 to 725, or roughly 70 points. And that's how that trade works. But if you'll look in general, that triangle with the purple bars tends to send you. You just want it in the right place. Like you want it the second bar off the high of the apex, like this, like this, like this. And then if you're at point of structure, the other way to do that, by the way, guys, since we're coaching it really quick, is the other way to do it, which is a little bit safer is the wrong word, but you want to get a close below the power bar, right? Like here, and then come back up and then take that first purple triangle down. This has higher value than, say, this one because you haven't broken the swing yet. Now that you've broken the swing, it's done a 50-60 back, star, purple bar, triangle down for the extension lower. And that is my 6 minute and 50-second coaching session for the rim. I think that's the shortest I've ever done. Let's post that.